Today, I'm going to talk about how joy and happiness can support and impact weight loss. Now, you may say most weight loss programs just say that weight loss is about diet and exercise. So what does joy and happiness have to do with it? But most of these traditional programs that would like you to think that weight loss is only about diet and exercise are the ones that keep people in the yo-yo diet cycle, in the roller coaster of never reaching permanent weight loss. So if you keep an open mind, I'm going to show you very clearly what happiness and joy have to do with it. Most people who start these traditional weight loss programs usually hate thinking about starting them because they think about all the restricted rules they'll have, the limited narrow categories of food they're allowed to eat on a diet, or limited calories, or counting points excessively, or being expected to go to a gym for hours to live in a gym, or being asked to take these weight loss medications that cause people stress as well because you worry about the side effects and the costs and the long-term effects of being on a medication. So a lot of these traditional strategies that are brought to you cause stress to people, make people worry. And a lot of people really hate and worry when they're going on these classic diet programs about these food restrictions, these exercise restrictions. And what happens when you are stressed? People classically talk about being stressed when they're doing weight loss programs. What happens when you're stressed, when you're under pressure? The mind and the body release stress hormones. And when you're stressed, when you're worried, when you have tension and you're releasing stress hormones, that locks the body into fat storing mode, and it prevents you from fat burning mode, which is what you really need to do to lose weight. You need to burn calories. You need to be in fat burning mode to burn calories and get rid of that belly fat, the fat on your thighs, the fat that people dislike and want to get rid of. And when you do these diets that cause stress, that cause you to worry, that make you think, can I do this? That cause you to feel that you're to blame when you don't lose weight a week or two. All of these problems are issues that keep you in fat storing mode. And these are all programs that keep people in the yo-yo diet cycle, constantly trying but not being able to succeed. Now let's think about the broader range of factors. And I tell my clients that there are 12 factors that are involved in weight loss. Diet and exercise are just 2 of them. And it's because you're not looking at the other factors that keeps people in that yo-yo diet cycle. And joy and happiness is a really important one because it helps relieve you and take you out of stress mode and put you in a happy mode. It doesn't have to be 100% of the day, every day, but at least parts of your day when you can be in happy mode. That really releases those good hormones, those happy hormones, those dopamines. And that, my friends, helps you move from fat storing mode to fat burning mode, allowing you to burn calories. That helps move you from slow metabolism to fast metabolism. So even if you have a life that you feel tends to be stressful, and we all have certain stresses in our life, if you have a plan that can help you bring joy and happiness to your life, not fake joy and happiness, but joy and happiness that can be real for you, that can help you build your weight loss results, because again, it can help you move from fat storing to fat burning mode. from slow metabolism to fast metabolism. And those, my friends, are the keys to burning calories, to getting weight loss. When you do these stressful programs, they are reinforcing and keeping you stuck. That's why people feel stuck with their weight, even when they try these traditional programs. There are these 12 factors that I talk about all the time, and joy and happiness is an important one. But it's one that most of your traditional programs say nothing about. And you really should require any weight loss program to talk about happiness in your life, so that you feel, and to talk about how the program will support you in a positive way, not blame you if you're not succeeding, but tell you what is the next step to do, and why are you not moving forward with their plan. You need to be supported, to feel supported, to be positive and optimistic, and to get results. And to move out of that yo-yo diet cycle where you're just stuck in those very restrictive rules for diet and exercise. So joy, again, joy and happiness give you energy, they give you fuel, they give you momentum to move forward and build goals in your life, like weight loss, because they help the mind and the body work together. In the case of weight loss, they help you move from fat storing to fat burning mode, which is so important. It's really essential to get permanent weight loss and significant weight loss. They help you elevate and jumpstart your metabolism so that you go from feeling stuck and holding your weight to being able to release your weight finally. And that's because you have part of your program that includes a joy module, that includes information on how to put joy in your life and how to keep it. And joy doesn't have to take up hours and hours. There are things you can do within minutes that I help plan, that I help my clients plan. There are things that take minutes, even seconds. I call them joy moments that people can do. There are things you can do daily, there are things that you can do weekly, and there are things that you can do when there are challenges and stresses that come along in your life to reduce the effect that they have on your body, on your physical system and your mind, so that you can stay out of that physical fight or flight system that keeps you in fat storing mode. And even under conditions that can be challenging and stressful in life, when you learn to handle them, as any weight loss program should be teaching you, because we all experience stress in our lives, you then learn to move and keep your body in fat burning mode, and to keep your metabolism active, vibrant, strong, healthy, and very active. So we all want our bodies to move from slow metabolism to fast metabolism to get permanent weight loss and to get you out of that yo-yo diet cycle. And thinking about joy and happiness is one of the important areas that these traditional weight loss programs don't deal with. I deal with this with all of my clients to talk about what they do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and how to handle the challenges and stresses that come along. And I work with them on individual things that are relevant in their lives. I will give you some general ideas, but obviously for people I know, I can and I do make them more specific. So even within seconds, I talk to my clients about creating joy moments. And one of the examples of that is to take a joy breath, to leave behind anything stressful in your life and think for a moment about how good this breath is going to feel coming in, how joyous and how fulfilling this breath is going to feel. And take that deep breath and feel it within you. And for some people, a joy moment is a joy breath. For some people, it's a joy tune where they'll either listen to a brief part of music or a song, but it can be just some notes even, that makes them feel happy and active. For some people, it's watching something brief that we have on video that brings them joy. Maybe something in their life that happened, some people in their lives that gives them a joy moment. For some people, it's a rhythm, a hand clap, or on the table, a clap on the table, that for them is of some significance. There are lots of things that I create with my clients. Those are some examples of really quick things. Then there are some things we do for even a few minutes, like a quick meditation or a quick visualization of something I can work with them, a scene with flowers or a beach scene or something that I create with my clients that can bring them really quick restoration and relief from stress. These are just some general examples. Again, I am more specific when I do talk to people individually to come up with something creative that really can make a difference for you and really make you feel supported and help you really zone in and stay zoned in on fat burning mode rather than fat storing mode, to keep your metabolism active, vibrant, escalated, moving. So I'm wondering if any of the previous weight loss programs you've ever tried have talked to you about joy and happiness, and really how to move from fat storing mode to fat burning mode, not just counting calories, not just counting points, not just counting hours or repetitions at the gym, which really are programs that do keep people in the yo-yo diet cycle, in that roller coaster. If you want to get out of that roller coaster, you really need other factors and components that move you from being stuck and just changing diet, just exercising and living at the gym, as most people know already. For most people, don't solve it, don't bring permanent weight loss, because you're stuck within the mode you're in, which for most people is fat storing mode. I love to help get people into fat burning mode because that brings permanent weight loss. It teaches your body to burn those calories, and it helps you maintain that. So that is exciting. My clients get so excited about it. In fact, and I've spoken about this before, one of my clients renamed my program, which I often call the Metabolism Activation Plan, the map, the blueprint to jumpstart your metabolism. And she just renamed this whole program. She renamed it and called it Happy Weight Loss, because it relieves all the pressure and tension that she's had and that people have with all of these traditional weight loss programs that put restrictions on you and make you worried and feel stressed. And instead, you feel supported. You feel supported in building health, in building changes that support your health and that move you from fat storing to fat burning mode and elevate your metabolism. So I hope that excites you and that clears up why many of the traditional programs don't include important parts and keep people within that yo-yo diet cycle, and how you really need to include these other factors that I talk about, a dozen factors. And joy and happiness is a really important one, because if you feel stressed going into a new diet program, if you are stressed, you're really reinforcing staying stuck. And they're not telling you how to get out of it. They just blame you if you don't lose the weight, but it's not your fault. You're not being given the solutions to move to fat burning mode, to move from slow metabolism to fast metabolism. So I can't wait to support more people and get as many people as we can to permanent weight loss. So I want to repeat some important keys. And one is that happiness and joy can help support weight loss by helping to move you from fat storing to fat burning mode, which is so important. Second, don't wait for vacations or holidays or days off of work or special events or weddings for joy. Joy should be part of every day, every week, and you should have a plan when there are challenges and stresses in your life, those 3 areas in particular. And daily, I help people infuse joy in their life in moments. I know people are busy. They don't have time to go hiking daily or go running for an hour. If you do, that's great. But we talk about things that can be done in moments, in short periods of time, that make sure you maintain your fat burning mode so that you're really losing weight and keeping that weight off. I also remind people to plan joy moments in their life. I suggest, and this is the number 4 on my list, making a joy list of things that really do bring you joy. And a lot of people have trouble making this list because we are so stressed in our lives, we forget about what can bring us joy. But for some people, we talk about art or music or sports, participating or watching or looking at something, and doing it really with focus, not doing it multitasking, paying part attention doing it. But I really teach my clients to pay attention to these things so you get the full joy, the full momentum out of your joy moments. And again, the last point is that any weight loss program should not just be about diet or exercise, because those are the traditional programs that keep people in that cycle. To get out, you need to figure out how to move from fat storing to fat burning mode. And what a great tool infusing joy and happiness in your life is. In fact, it's such a great tool that my client Sarah renamed my program Happy Weight Loss. So I encourage you really to think about adding joy and happiness in your life so that you can get momentum in moving your body to fat burning mode, and jump-starting, kick-starting, elevating your metabolism to fast metabolism. If these suggestions sound good to you, I would be happy to speak more to you about that. After our program is over, sometime tonight, I will put my calendar in the comments section. You can find it in our group as well. And I will have a limited number of appointments to speak to some people. So if this is of interest to you, if you like some suggestions, some happiness and joy techniques that you can implement in your life, make sure that you do take one of those appointments before they fill up. Let's get this done. Let's get you to permanent weight loss. And if we can do it with you smiling and laughing and with joy and happiness, that is even better. So let's talk soon.